my people, how una dey? Thank you all for tuning in into this our channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on the location where you dey watch us from. This our channel na here we dey talk about news and politics, and we dey react to videos wetin dey happen for inside our country. So e get one interesting video when e be say I want make we all watch together, make we all for dey see wetin dey happen for inside our country. But before I go drop this video, make we watch together. If you dey meet us for the first time, you never subscribe to this our YouTube channel, abeg make you not forget to hit on the red subscribe button, turn on the bell so that you go get every latest information from us. And also, if you watch this video finish, at the end of the video, make you leave your own thought for the comment section. What do you think concerning this video, as we go to watch this video together? So my people, make we watch this video together. My people, this one are the part 2 of Peter Obi interview when he be say he do. So if you never watch the part 1, make you just scroll to my channel, my previous video, you go see the part 1 for them, make you watch the video so that make you know where the matter for the come.
The matter you're pursuing, because yes, you have spoken about what you like to see in the long run, or what you would have loved to see with the process. What kind of feedback do you have from your lawyers now concerning how the matter is progressing? Is INEC complying with the decisions as handed out by the courts?
You know, for me, it's the lawyers that will answer correctly about this. Like I said, there's not something between INEC and myself and the party. So, from what they've said so far to me, they say they are working with them. You know, I will not say, well, yes or no. But if the lawyers say they're working with them, that means they're working with them. And that I'm okay with.
Okay, Mr. Peter Obi, good morning. I'd like to ask you, what key element would you say is the singular factor, or will I say if there are multiple factors, what would you say really stand out for you that make these elections the worst, as you have described them to be?
Well, the issue of the so-called beavers, which have changed to basic value acceptable. So, you have promised that you're going to conduct an election through a particular process, and that process failed completely. So that is it. So in effect,
to say that the beavers failed completely, would that be accurate, considering the fact that
the server,
you know, for accreditation,
no, the
beavers worked, it was to take the pictures.
Okay, maybe not completely, but it failed on the most critical aspect of the beavers. You know, you failed on, it's like a situation where you've been promised this fantastic 3-course meal, and you came in with a little starter, waiting for the main meal, and they carried it away. So you can't say you have been fed, because the main thing was that going from the pulling unit to the server. That is the main meal. So they took away the main meal and said, okay, the beavers have worked, because so you can't walk out and say the meal was fantastic, because after all, they gave me the little starter, and then the main meal was not served. And
that's the IREV.
That's it. The main thing was not there. Nobody, even in my village, where people are not sophisticated, not educated, they were all glued to one place waiting to see the result coming in through, like they told us that everybody will be seeing it. I'm sure you didn't see it, my sister. They said it failed.
That's the IREV. The IREV is separate from the beavers. the beavers accredits people, and then it's supposed to take a picture and upload it to the IRF. The IRF did not work on that day.
Yes, me and you know the difference between all this. For the average Nigerian, that is all included. And I want to speak to the average Nigerian. What they've sold us, whether it's IRF, whether it's the IRA, what they told us is the beavers is from this to this. We are promised this Sumter's meal, and we just had a serve of the starter, and they disappeared with the rest of the food. So we didn't.
Mr. Fitobi,
lunch we have had.
I've had to make that clarification because you know that the beavers is also going to be used again in this governorship elections, and a lot of people might be imagining that that exactly was the instrument of fraud, and maybe might be reluctant to use it or might be reluctant to come out. But the IREV was, you know,
where people are already reluctant,
and I'm very happy for how you have.
Thank you.
How you described it. But you know, moving beyond that,
might not come out. You know, we're pushing them now.
Yes,
we're begging them to have faith and come out.
Exactly. So I know as a result of that, you've been going around a number of states. I mean, you've given speeches, you've done a few thank you visits around a number of states to thank your supporters for their votes on the day of the presidential election. And I think yesterday you were in Jos, in Plateau State. I don't know where you're going next. I don't even know how you're doing it because you were in Jos and now you're in a different location entirely. I'm wondering, what state would you be really keeping an eye on for your governorship candidates? Because some people within your party are saying, yes, we voted you because of your capacity and your competence, but we're not going to blindly vote Labour Party, you know, top to bottom in all cases if we're not confident about the candidates that your party is fielding. How are you going to persuade such people to, you know, continue to support the Labour Party and understand party politics, as the case might be?
Let me tell you, I support the obedience. Please do not vote blindly. We have a country, and we have a problem, and we need to deal with it. And I've said, please, you watch one will be character, competence, capacity, and compassion. The country needs to see competent people in position to serve. So do not vote blindly. And we have them in a number of states. Remember, Labour is not, remember what they told you when we were starting, that we don't have structures. So we don't have people all over the place competing. Please, we have some states where we have competent people. You can, let me start with Lagos. We have a competent hand here, young, dynamic man that can do the job. We have in Abia. I was in Jos, like you said. And if you look at it, I've visited most of all those states where I think we have competent people that can do the job. We have in Kaduna, we have in one or two states. We don't have all over the country. Out of the 10 states, 30 states or so, that is 28 states where the election for governorship is coming up on the 18th. I think probably we have about 6 or 8 of them where I think we have candidates who are participating and I feel they can do the job. I remember we have said that anybody that is elected on Labour Party, we're not going to sit back. We're going to ensure that it follows our tradition, our culture, and our performance indices in developing. So we have candidates across. In the southeast, we have in Enugu, we have in Abia, south, we have in Delta, you know, southwest, we have in Lagos, in north central, of course, mentioned Jos and others. So all I said to you, vote where we have competent, qualified people that can do the job. And in other areas, please do the same thing and ensure that the right things are done.
Well, just one more thing from here. I mean, you ran a campaign that a lot of people didn't give yourself and your team a chance. People kept talking about the structures. Now, quite a number of them tell us they're thinking differently. Your campaign, the way it all came across, many like to see things go differently. But just to get your mindset on this, what is it that you like to see? I mean, you've spoken about you expect them to come out this Saturday and vote, expectations from INEC as well, also there as well. What immediate change would you like to see done? Because the Electoral Act didn't highlight certain things. They may have been in the guidelines which could change. I know that some persons had gone to court about the beaver, I beg your pardon, about the voter cards, them using the slip and not necessarily limiting everybody to the permanent voter card. Now, what would you suggest we do as a country or lawmakers look at this 10th Assembly such that we don't lose the enthusiasm that a lot of young people had coming out for these elections?
Well, Chamberlain, I don't know what I can tell you that I would say there needs to be done in the immediate or what is expected. But because why do I say so is that simple things becomes very difficult in this country. Like I said, it's just about the election. All I want to see in this country is that we have a government and the people believe in the rule of law, in following the guideline. If we say we're going to do it this way, let's just do it that way. As I said earlier, I will conduct, if I'm in position, and the people will sit up in this country, I'll be able to conduct the best election without Nigeria spending 50% of what I spent in that election. If I try to spend 25% of that. Because there's so many things we can do today with technology that we need to do. And other countries are doing it. We can't spend $1 billion and we're still talking about what do we need to do and what do we... There's a guideline. Follow that guideline strictly. Maintain it.
All right.
Winding down.
Now, this, pardon me, Kaide, I know that this, the president-elect and his team, they've said that they want to run, what's that word now? Government of national unity. What is it that you're willing to do? Because lots of people look up to you, Nigerians. They also want a better country. What would you be willing to do if you're called upon?
Chamberlain, the first thing I want to see is that the process is right. The process through which you achieve anything is far more fundamental than what you do thereafter. I can't come into channel now where somebody has worked hard, all of you, build a team, work hard, and take it over, and then say, I'll run it better, increase your salaries, start doing things better than Chief Mama will do, and you say, that's right. But I didn't work hard for it. Let us go back first. I'm challenging the process and the declaration. Until we get it right, then we can talk about government of national unity. Otherwise, we will go and sit down and say that the people who stop the train and kidnap people also can call or invite us to discuss about peace and nation when they're helping people in captive.
So you're not of collaboration?
No. Let's do things right.
Okay.
That's where we start. Until things are done rightly, you can't just go, we're encouraging what we don't need to encourage.
Well, we know you have a busy schedule, as usual, and we need to let you go. So let's wind down on this. Well, there's some groups asking you not to come to Abia State. They believe that you plan to come to Abia State, and they say that, well, it's a setup regarding security, and that they supported you for presidential, so you should allow them do the governorship across party lines. Are you listening to them? Are you going ahead?
I've been to Abia. In course of my going around now, I've been to Abia. I've been to most places. I won't tell you where I'm going today, but I'm moving around. So, nobody can stop. You see, these are things bad about our democracy. This is what I'm saying. I have governed the state, and everybody was free to move around. Everybody was free. As governor of a state, former President Obasanjo came to my state to campaign for somebody else. I accompanied him to the campaign. I was even being referred as the outgoing governor. And I'm competing in that election. As governor of a state, Governor Fashola is still there, will tell you, came to campaign for Dr. Chris Ngige. I gave him my staff car. My staff car went to bring him from the airport. They campaigned for Dr. Chris in a campaign that I am, because of them, that they have cancelled my own campaign. Because I said, all the vehicles I'll use, they have it. So let them finish and go. The next day I continued. Everybody was coming. That is the way it should be. This is a campaign. You know, it's like when people say, oh, what is happening in Lagos? I said, Lagos, all the contestants are Lagosians. And they are Lagosians. Whoever is supporting them doesn't make any difference. And then what happened in Lagos, people living in Lagos, more of the indigenous voted for me than the visitors. Let us please be able to do little things that can show that people who live here are human beings.
Right. Just one for me, and as a straightforward question. Should you be unable to prove that you won the election, are you returning in 2027 to contest again?
Well, I won't say anything, but I can tell you, it's not a question of proving whether I won, It is a question of that the election had issues, and those issues will be sorted out in court. I'll be shocked if this country goes on with that situation. It will then stamp that it is a complete criminalized country. We can't allow it. We need to start unbundling this criminality. And that's why people are calling about structure. When they were advertising structure or no structure, it is this criminality and fraud that we witness is what they're talking about. And we want to unbundle it for the sake of our children.
It's always very interesting having you. Just to be clear, are you going to accept the outcome of the court, whichever way it swings?
I won't say anything until when it happens.
But you have...
And I'll make my comments.
You say you trust the judiciary.
I trust the judiciary. I believe they know what is happening in society. They live within the society. And they will do the right things for the society.
We could continue this conversation, and I know you two, you can continue with us, but we have to let you go. And we really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party.
Okay, my wonderful people, how una see this matter? Thank you all for watching. I will see you now for my next video. Una, bye-bye.